Well, the first thing that comes to mind when I hear about brothers in the holy life over in Burma going onto the streets and having to reap the consequences of being shot at by the military. It's a situation where my compassion really immediately extends not just to the monks or the lay people in the crowd, but at the same time to the authorities or the military that is actually doing the shooting. Because as a monk, as a Buddhist, one understands the consequences of action, and it's a very important thing to understand that the aggressor is reaping the consequences of whatever he's doing. So in that case, the sadness that one feels and the emotion, usually for most people, would only extend to those who are being oppressed. But in my case, I always feel that the karma, the consequences of those who are actually doing the torturing, the killing, are so painful that the compassion equally extends to those as well. However, in a situation like that, the immediate next question that comes to my mind when I hear about it is whether or not it's a right thing to do for monks to go onto the streets. And obviously one wasn't born in a monastery, one has lived in the world, one has been on demonstrations, and one knows what can happen. And I don't want to paint it too black, but must happen when the situation is provoked. It can escalate very quickly. And the situation that you have is just one person needs to do something without thinking, and immediately the situation inflames, escalates, and lives are being lost very quickly. And so whether the Sangha should be involved or should not be involved in a protest march in a situation like that, I dare not say yes, I dare not say no, but I want to just point to the fact that monks have a responsibility under all circumstances to retain the mind of non-violence, non-aggression. And whether or not marching in the streets is an act of passive aggression, again, I'll leave that for people to contemplate. However, there are means of the Sangha to actually do something that the Buddha recommended in the Vinaya prescribed for the monks, which is a Sangha kamma, a decision where the monks turn up their alms bowl, turn upside down their alms bowl, and instead of receiving alms from the community, they do not receive alms. In other words, it's a kind of a protest march, I dare say, in the sense that they are walking through the village where they usually are seen to collect their daily alms in the morning. However, at that time they walk with their alms bowls turned upside down, not receiving any alms. In other words, thereby depriving the people of the ability or the opportunity to make merit with the Sangha. And that is a very clear sign that the Sangha is putting out to the people at that point that something is wrong, something is terribly wrong. It is a way, a means to alert the public to the fact that something is happening that should not be happening, because it is a very extreme measure. So I know it has happened in the past, and I just wanted to liken that Sangha kamma that was definitely allowed by the Buddha with perhaps a peaceful march in the streets, just showing their faces, showing that this is a point where something has to happen so that the people can have the opportunity to become aware of the situation, so that hopefully, eventually, something good will come out of it. To whatever conclusion, however, one may come regarding whether it's right or wrong for monks to go into the streets, the thing to really bear in mind is the situation in Burma is very extreme, and it has been very extreme for many, many years. And for many, many years the Sangha has been in a very difficult situation. The public obviously as well. But the Sangha for many years has had to ask themselves, what can we do? Is there a means, is there a way of alerting the public to what's being done here? And so even if one may not technically agree to monks walking through the streets in a demonstration, that is one thing to really bear in mind, that it is a very extreme situation, and under extreme situations sometimes one has to resort to means that are perhaps not always conventional. So I really feel for those monks over there. I can really sort of say that my empathy extends to them, because, you know, in my own mind I'd be in a very difficult situation myself. I wouldn't know what to do. And so one important thing in a situation like that is always not to judge too quickly, not to jump to conclusions too quickly, because all sorts of means may be implied in order to put the Sangha in a bad light. And sometimes jumping to conclusions, judging too harshly in a very extreme situation like that is also missing the point.